Just got the thumbs up from the control room, so we are ready to go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We'll call the meeting to order. Welcome, commissioners, staff, and petitioners and citizens to the May 13th Mishawaka Plan Commission meeting. Introduction of staff to my right, Donna Witt, our administrative planner. Next to Donna is Shad Annis, our associate planner. To my left, we have Krista Hill, our senior planner. City planner next to Krista is Derek Spear. In our front row, we have Ken Prince, our executive director. Sitting next to Ken is David Bent, our legal counsel. Donna, would you please call the roll?
Chris Jamrose. Here. Drew Cash.
Here.
Woody Emmons.
Here.
Sam Cressy.
Here.
Drew Johnson.
Here.
Randy Frost.
Here.
Kathy White Gaddich.
Here.
Mike Portalese.
Here.
Chris Torty.
Here. And let's see. So rules of procedure are up on the board, and to my right and to my left, we do all of our speaking at the podium. If you would please, when you come up, leave your name and address clearly so Donna can take that into her notes. That would be very helpful. Sometimes there's some people online, so I'm going to ask for a little extra patience if there is some people online to kind of work through those comments and back and forth. But first, we'll hear a presentation by the petitioner. For each item, we'll ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online. Then we'll hear those who wish to speak in favor of the request, then those who wish to speak against the request. If you're not sure whether you're speaking for or against and you have general questions, you can ask them during the against section. We'll accumulate all those questions. We'll have a right of rebuttal by the petitioner to answer all of those questions. We'll close the public hearing. We'll have a commission discussion and then a commission vote. The previous month's minutes, April, were delivered. Were there any corrections or additions to these minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye. Aye.
And those minutes are approved. Is there any conflict of interest on any agenda items tonight? No, good. That brings us to the first item on the agenda, which is a petition. So petitions go to the council, so we'll be making a favorable or unfavorable recommendation, and then it will move to the council next month. A request submitted by Henry Carolyn A. Living Trust, Robert Henry, executor, requesting to rezone 115 Virginia Street from C1, general commercial, to R1, single-family residential for an existing house. Is there somebody here to present this? Hi, come on up.
Hello, my name is Dania Hester, member and representative for Rod Family Acquisition. We just purchased this property and is wanting to down zone to a R1.
Great. That sounds like a good plan. Is there any questions? Any questions from anybody on the?
It's all residential property surrounding it right now, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell us your plans for the property.
We're going to be flipping it and selling out to other residential families.
Great, thank you.
Do you think it would be a rental or you're going to resell it?
We're going to resell it.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. That was
It
pretty.
was very concise. I liked it.
We
We're
like
trying
those.
to get it in and get done.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of petition 25-03? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak in opposition to petition 25-03? Is there any additional information, Mr. City Planner?
No further information.
All right, then I'll close the public hearing, and is there any commissioners that wish to speak on this? If not, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve petition 2503.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose. Drew Cash.
Yes.
Woody Emmons.
Yes.
Sam Cressy.
Yes.
Drew Johnson.
Yes.
Randy Frost.
Yes.
Kathy White Gaddich.
Yes.
Mike Portalese.
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes, and petition 25-03 will move to the council with a favorable rating. Thank you. Moving along, replat. So replats are a pass-fail. A request submitted by Mark W. and Deborah C. Cam seeking approval of the 5-lot M&D Cam First subdivision first replat, number 25-03. Hi.
Good evening. My name's Terry Lang from the Whiteman office. Our address is 1402 Mishawaka Avenue in South Bend. I represent the petitioners here, the CAMs. Petition before you is to take a parcel of land that was about 30 years ago. 5 parcels were merged into one. The CAMs at this point in time are desiring to take it back to the original configuration of 5 lots right there with the additional home sites that are being built to the east of there in the fields. More and more homes are being built in that neighborhood, and they're desiring to bring 5 new homes to the area right there. We worked with the engineering department to make sure the sewer taps and water taps that were there in the Borley Street, which was recently resurfaced and everything, all of our lot lines will line up with those specific locations, so we won't have to do any street cuts or anything like that into the new streets. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
We certainly could use more R1s. Any questions for Mr. Lang?
Do you know the approximate size of the lots?
They will be 60 by 110, I believe, is the depth.
Additional questions?
Do you know the size of the homes at this point?
At this point, we're just
Okay.
preparing the lots for that. We don't have any prospective buyers at this point.
You're close to the Habitat
We're just,
subdivision over there?
just to the west of it on
Oh,
Borley.
okay.
They're
Yeah.
probably 100 feet.
Okay, yeah,
And immediately north of the Burton's Cleaners there.
Borley.
yeah.
Would the owners look to develop the properties themselves, or are they selling the lots individually?
I believe they're going to be selling them individually.
Any other questions for Mr. Lang? Nope, thanks for the presentation. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of replat 25-03? Is there anybody wishing to speak in opposition to replat 25-03? In the room or online? Is there any additional information, Mr. Spear? Okay, I'll close the public hearing, and if there is any further discussion, let's have it now. If not, I'll take a motion.
A motion to approve replat 25-03?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Drew Cash?
Yes.
Woody Emmons?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Drew Johnson?
Yes.
Randy Frost?
Yes,
Kathy White Gaddage?
Yes.
Mike Portalese?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes, and replat 25-03 passes. Thank you. Next, we move into another replat, which is a pass-fail. Replat 25-04, a request submitted by Dragoon Properties seeking approval of the 4-lot Clover Valley second replat.
Good evening. Chris Godlewski, Abbenmarsh, 315 West Jefferson Boulevard, South Bend, Indiana. This is a replat of 4 existing lots to rearrange the lot lines as the staff report spelled it out well. And the main purpose was to reposition the storm detention on the 3 residential lots, the small ones, and remove it primarily from Lot 79. The landowner does have some future interests that may be non-residential. He's not for sure yet for Lot 79. If and when that comes, there will have to be considerations taken care of, like the non-access easement or any other easements, access to the road, which will be a good effort. But at this time, it's nothing more than just repositioning where the retention is. I can answer any questions you have.
Questions? Nope.
is this, does Clover Road cross Dragoon and then become, what, Clover Drive, is that what it is, or is that how I'm seeing it?
Let me just,
Clover Valley.
no, the name of the road currently where at least Lot 79 abuts. That name is not changing. That is Bryce Canyon, but when it does go south of Dragoon, it does change road names. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
uh-huh.
So nothing's changing with the road names.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of replat 25-04? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak in opposition to replat 25-04? Is there any additional information?
None.
None. We'll close the public hearing, and I will take a motion on replat 25-04.
Recommend approval for 2504.
Second.
So Portalise and Drew was the first and second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrus?
Yes.
Drew Cash?
Yes.
Woody Emmons?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Drew Johnson?
Yes.
Randy Frost?
Yes.
Kathy White Gaddage?
Yes.
Mike Portalise?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes, and replat 25-04 passes. Moving on to design reviews, which are also pass-fail. Design review 25-04, a request submitted by Elder and Harmon LLC requesting a design review waiver for architectural material and signage located at 119 South Main Street. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Name and address for Donna, both of you? That'd be great.
Elder and Harmon with Dojo Creative, or Elder and Harmon, 119 South Main.
Great. And next.
Josh Harmon.
Josh Harmon, Doug Elder.
Got it. Okay. Donna, you good? All righty. Tell us all about this.
Basically, we're looking for, just wanted to present materials for our facade, and just wanted to thank the city of Mishawaka for the upcoming small business facade grants that you guys are putting forth, and just wanted to show some of the materials that we're going to be using. So,
Great. Before you show us, why don't you just explain it in general?
the design is basically like kind of a board and batten upstairs, which is kind of this material. This is it's going to be, it's going to look pretty sharp, but this will go, it's like kind of a beveled edge. It's more of a contemporary stuff that they're using. But this will actually be this color for the top. And then signage in the middle. If you guys look at the existing building of where they're at, there's two big long stacks of glass block windows, which actually half of them are like just facade, or I mean basically false windows. We're gonna yes, there we go. So it'll be a huge improvement to downtown with the new design. So
You sure it's going to look better than that?
I don't know.
No, yeah.
We're kind of growing accustomed to that way.
We're not every time we go by.
Don't continue that.
Any questions on this material?
Just a quick question. When I was reading through this, it looks like when you pulled the existing facade off, you found like a adhesive or something back there.
Yes.
Was your intention to try and restore that, and even now that you can't, you're looking to do something
Yeah,
to cover?
originally we were hoping we could save the brick behind but there's like it's almost like plywood that was sandwiched in there, and it's rotted against the brick, and the amount of money it would take to probably go and wash all that off and restore all that brick would be
Yeah,
Tuck point.
pretty expensive.
could only imagine.
Is the wood facade on the lower portion, is that wood or is that going to be a laminate material?
This is, it's actually an,
Metal.
Can I get you to go back to the microphone just because?
sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's just basically an aluminum, it's almost like a faux wood, but it looks similar to teak. It'll be pretty sharp.
Does anybody want to see any of those up close?
Yeah, I can bring these up and like let you guys see the samples if you guys want.
Anybody?
I'd like to see the wood sample.
Yeah, for sure.
Critique, yeah.
Remember, he said it was sharp. I don't know whether that's sharp looking or sharp, because it's metal.
Right now, both.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I like the color combo.
Slight improvement.
We'll also be putting some lights that are basically two vertical lights on the side too, to improve like lighting downtown. So,
And will you be occupying the building? Is this?
yeah.
Great. I appreciate the investment in our existing downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. No, and I appreciate, my business partner and I appreciate you guys creating the facade program for us. You know,
What's the time frame on wrapping this up, the facade?
pretty,
Well, it depends. So some of the contractors said about 6 weeks once they start the project, so, and then we would need to kind of get everything rolling with them. I don't know what their schedule's like to be able to get them on, but, I'd say, I mean, we did put down 12/1 in the proposal.
worst case scenario.
But yeah, that was worst case scenario. We're thinking like towards the end of summer at the latest, that we'd like to be done with it.
Oh, and this is the side, right?
Yeah, the mural.
Yeah, we're also proposing to put a mural on the side of the wall, just some artwork to kind of dress up the side of it, because the side right now is just, again, old brick.
Has that been proposed, or has that have been finalized, your mural? On the-
Woody, get up to the microphone there.
Has that mural been approved, or is this just something you're thinking about?
We've submitted about 7 designs, and that's the one that Ken and Krista like so much.
Yeah,
so.
I think we're asking you guys to approve it
Yes.
now, I believe.
I'm sorry, sir, you want to speak, because I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, so I guess we're asking you guys to approve it today, I guess, I believe, so.
So you're an ad agency and web design and those kind of things? So you're trying to stay within
Mad Men.
a creative kind of bent with that, yeah. I did see that building. I guess I didn't pay much attention to it until today. I went by and there's those blue panels. They're really bad. They're ugly, but
Yep.
is there brick behind those panels then too, or?
There is, yes, but there was like a substrate sandwich between the blue panel and the brick. I think it was like a plywood of some sort, and it's like stained the brick, and it's all black. It looks like it's been covered in tar almost.
So if you could preserve that brick, would you do it?
It would be pretty cost prohibitive. We've
yeah.
been told to do that, and some of the brick behind that's even kind of crumbly,
Okay.
so. yeah.
Yeah.
So can you explain the mural a little bit more? My file's in black and white, so I just want to understand it more. What are your thoughts behind this? And
Are you familiar with Mad Men?
yeah,
It's very like Mad Men-esque. So,
okay, so it's falling through there.
If you said the facade has some brick deterioration and you're talking about painting this brick, is this brick able to handle the paint and not have it peel off, and
Yeah.
you're going to treat it?
Yep, the brick on the side of the building is in a lot better shape. It's kind of cool. Pete had kind of given us the idea too, who's our neighbor over at the History Museum. Over the past probably close to 150 years, that's been traditionally a ghost wall, which was kind of cool. And anything going back to like Dill's camera to, I think there was even like pouch tobacco back up there back in the day. But it'll be kind of a cool use. The brick's in pretty good shape. We are going to be taking advantage of the facade grant to replace those 2 glass block windows. Josh hates them. I kind of like them, but they'll be going. No, I think the mural is tasteful and you know it's kind of more similar to us. And you know we had presented several designs to Ken and Krista, and this is the one that they kind of came to. So
I got a question on putting this on the brick and having the brick deteriorate, these can look old pretty fast in some cases. You know, if it doesn't stick to the brick right, or the brick deteriorates and those types of things, and over time, they don't look good. If you look at like Doc Pierce's, you know, that got really bad, and then they redid it all, it looked great. This is something you plan on keeping up? or-
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and keeping it crisp and,
Yeah, and also too, the plans with, we've got 2 quotes in from 2 pretty good mural artists around here. One was Cassie Graver, she does a lot of work here in town. Also Alex Ann, who you see a lot of her stuff in South Bend. She's more like a pastel, kind of blue and purple. But we're kind of, basically both of them have said like they're going to go through pressure wash, basically pressure wash and like really kind of beat down the brick a little bit, and then apply the paint. I think they're doing 2 to 3 coats, and then they'll be doing a sealant on top of it, so it will be pretty weatherproof. And I know we get some pretty bad weather, but I think it'll be in good shape.
is there going to be any light on that at all, or no light?
You know, we were talking with the sign company, and what we might be doing is like what's called a gobo, and like so where we can like basically shoot. It's like a moving, basically a moving logo or something like that. Are you familiar with it? Basically, it's a hard spotlight that shines through and projects onto it. So.
Yeah, I think any light moving or anything like that is also a variance, something we would have to look at, right? As well, separately.
Yeah, I don't think we had that on the plan at this time.
It's not on the
Okay.
plan. It's just a crazy idea.
Oh, yeah, I get it, but yeah, but if you do have like moving lights and things, those are also things that we would have to look at as well. Questions?
Yes.
Woody?
Yeah, this is for Ken. Does that kind of signage or murals or whatever fall into the type of facades that we want down on our main?
So just to
street?
clarify, when Krista and I reviewed this, it was relative to compliance. It wasn't regarding the art itself. So some of the other designs that we were given had the dojo logo on it and that type of thing, which would be considered a sign and not art. And so the distinction here is this is truly a mural. They do have a small sign on the eastern edge that says Dojo Creative, but that falls within the sign requirements. Everything else is art. So if you look at, we use Chicory as the example, with the jazz musicians playing, that is art. So we try not to comment on somebody's individual creativity. Clearly, they're in the business, and they're trying to reflect their business, and we respect that. But yes, this is the type of sign in terms of having murals in the downtown. We may not like them, kind of like the mill and the green color on the building. Like, some people like it, some people don't like it. Some people like the white on River Rock, some people don't like the white on River Rock. We want that individual creativity because we want that kind of eclectic composition that naturally happens in downtowns. We don't want it to look, not that it ever would, but I use Disney World as an example. It's very, Eddy Street Commons is very beautiful, but it's very regimented, and that's not organically how downtowns are created. So to us, having murals such as this contribute to that cohesion of having different things that you put together into the downtown.
It seems like it's awful busy and psychedelic. I mean, it just doesn't seem to fit right downtown with type of buildings that we have. I mean, to me, you would think that would be on an entertainment center or a movie theater or something like that.
The other thing I'd represent, Woody, is that it's paint, right? So the amount of effort, yes, it's thousands of dollars, but it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it is meant to fade over time. So I would imagine a scenario, they're either going to have to repaint it in a number of years, or they're going to say, hey, why don't we refresh it and do a different mural in that location? So because it's just paint, we don't overemphasize the improvement. It's not something, again, I use the green on the mill as the example, not that we had a problem with the green. I'm just saying that green on the mill is likely going to outlive me. I don't think this mural is. I may be wrong, but, you know, I could die tomorrow. So,
You're younger than I am.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Question?
I'm not familiar with the show Mad Men, so could you talk me through, I guess, the thought process behind the mural? Is the guy jumping out of a window or getting shot at? I guess I'm just curious, like, what the imagery sort of depicts.
More of like a leaping. So yeah, if you just Google Mad Men, it's pretty iconic artwork, and like people think that, and they think advertising agency or creativity or, you know, I mean, it's Mad Men is a TV series that I think it was on HBO, but it was about 1950s, 60s advertising in New York City. So.
I think I'm aware of the show. I haven't seen it. Is this imagery like direct from the show, or it's just in the style? And I'm just curious if you could describe like what's happening in the mural.
So this is part of the title sequence from one of
Okay.
the seasons, and it's not exact. It's kind of, because we didn't want to copy their stuff, you
Got
know,
it. Okay.
one for one. And then that's actually based off of another artist had done that in the 20s, I believe. I can't remember his name right now, but they based that off of
Gotcha.
somebody else's thing. So we're kind of rolling with that too.
That connects the dots for me.
Yep.
So just for kicks, because I'm going to ask, what should we be thinking about when we look at this? Like, what do you think the average person that looks at this is thinking? Is it
Thinking outside the box.
thinking outside the box? Is that it?
I mean, that's what I see in it. I
Is
think
that-
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Interesting, got it. Okay.
And I'm not going to get caught up in the art. I mean, art is the beholder. This is not being displayed on a gateway into the city. It's, you know, it's facing south on Main Street. But you know, some art, some people love, some art, some people don't. You're not going to please everybody. So I applaud you for being different.
You know, while you don't please everybody, that doesn't please anybody. That right there.
Are you speaking for all of us?
I'm just, come on, really? But I do think that more murals need to be presented to us and to the city. There's a lot of brick walls that are tired, and like the one up top there, and bringing a fresh look to it. While we may not like it, those may not like it, there's probably more that like it than like that thing up top.
Well,
So I welcome the mural, and just saying it out loud.
And Ken, I'm glad you clarified art and not advertising.
Yeah.
Because that's where my brain kind of clicked over. And, you know, it's not hanging a car on a wall, which I really didn't like.
Well, there's that.
But you noticed it and remembered it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, one other question,
Yeah.
Woody.
Your mural and everything, you're right next door to the Mishawaka Museum. What is that going to kind of highlight to them? Is it going to distract from their museum? Is it going to kind of overshadow it? Is it going to downgrade it? Have you considered that?
Actually, you know, it was Pete's idea. So, yeah, I mean, Pete actually was pretty excited and like brought over, he's like, check these, you know, he's such a cool guy, and like brings over like old photos of like, you know, like all the different posters. It was really neat. He's awesome to have next door, so, yeah. But, no, I think it brings attention to his place as well as ours, so I think it's a positive
I hope
contribution.
you're right, because just looking at that, I don't think it's a sign or mural that should be downtown, but I'm old-fashioned, I guess, and that, so I just need to express my concerns. And I hope it flies, but I don't know, you know.
I think, watch the show, and you'll get a deeper appreciation of it. It's pretty cool, so you might get a kick out of
I'm not
it.
into that.
I know Woody, he won't like that show. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Is there anybody else in the room that wish to speak in favor of design review 25-04?
Just one last question. Are you sold on the colors, the red and the black?
Yes, it's very, it was even punchier before, and we actually toned it down with Ken and Krista's, yeah. So, they were kind of like having two clients that we were presenting creative to all the time, so, but, yeah, no, we actually kind of pulled, it was a little bit punchier on the red before, but we toned it down, so, and it's very similar to, like a sublimation to our branding, so as well.
Any other questions?
I have one more,
Oh,
just a thing,
yes.
just for clarification. Are we voting on the mural separately versus
They're
the?
both in the same,
Both the same?
both in the same one.
Puts me in a quandary. I would think they would be both different because they're two different, basically, items. You've got the construction materials versus signage. I think they should be presented separately. And, I would have to be voting against it unless we can change that and have them present that as two different items for us, one on signage and one on materials. Two different, in my opinion.
We were just,
I don't like combining two different areas.
Mr. President, although we only asked, they submitted on one application, it's not a problem if you have votes on the two different issues, if you'd prefer. You have that ability.
Okay. We'll do two separate votes. Okay, is there anybody else in the room wishing to speak in favor of 25-04 or online? Is there anybody that wishes to speak in opposition to design review 25-04? Is there any additional information?
No additional information.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. And Woody, thanks for that consideration. And so I'll take a motion. We'll do a motion separately. So we'll do a 25-04A and a 25-04B. A is the front facade, and B is the artwork. So do I have a motion for design review 25-04A?
I'd like to make a motion to pass design review 2504A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on 25-04A. Donna, would you please call
Clarification, A is the facade.
the facade? Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Correct. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Drew Cash?
Yes.
Woody Emmons?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Drew Johnson?
Yes.
Randy Frost?
Yes.
Cassie White Gaddage?
Yes.
Mike Portalese?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes, and that front facade passes. Okay, that moves us to design review 25-04, the second part of that, which I termed B, which is the artwork shown up on the screen to my right and to my left. Do I have a motion, or is there any further discussion we'd like to have on the B section?
I would just like to add that the board consider this as art and try to put a little kick in the step of downtown Mishawaka. You may not like it, but I think this, and Dojo brings some creativity to our downtown that we've not seen in a long time. The mill thing adds some creativity. I think it's great to see a little culture coming into our world. We don't all like some of the culture, but it's not flipping somebody off. It's what it is. It's art, and I would just go down the vein of thinking of spicing up our community as it could use it.
I'll echo that. I agree.
And it's not anything super descript, and that's really what art is. It's something that's really left to the interpretation of the viewer. I'm familiar with the show. I still don't 100% see it. I think it's just a cool, different thing to look at, and it opens it up. So it's not anything. A mural might even be more controversial than this because then you have the subjects in it. So anyway, my 2 cents.
And it makes you stop and look and think. I mean, there's lots of signs and arts and things that are recognizable, and you see it and keep going. We've all stopped and looked at this, and it's caught our attention. It's caught a lot of our attention, which I think is a good thing.
And I must be getting old because I'm just kind of like, wow. It looks bright and bold, but I'm going to trust the process, and it will probably grow on me because I drive by there a lot. And, you know, after it's up, maybe I'll say, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't think I'd like it, but I like it. So,
If the whole city hates it, I don't think these guys are going to want it on the side of their building. They might come back, but it's cool.
Okay, any other comments before I ask for a motion? Okay, then I'll ask for a motion. Design Review 25-04B, which is the artwork.
Make a motion to approve 2504B.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrus?
Yes.
Drew Cash?
Yes.
Woody Emmons?
No.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Drew Johnson?
Yes.
Randy Frost?
Yes.
Kathy White Gaddich?
yes.
Mike Portalese?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes, and Design Review 25-04B, the artwork passes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Get on it. We're ready to see it.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Yep. Okay, next item, Design Review 25.
Guys, you got your materials?
Whoop, yep.
Gentlemen, we got your materials. You don't want to walk off without those. Can you reach from there?
Careful, it's sharp
Yeah.
in two ways.
You got to do that joke twice.
Oh, you laughed both times. Okay, next we have Design Review 25-05. It is also a pass-fail. Request submitted by Beacon Health System requesting a design review waiver for the size and quantity of signage located at 202 Lincoln Way East. Hi. By process of elimination, you are up.
So, good evening, and I just wanted to thank the commission, Mr. President, staff, Ken specifically. You know, as a local resident, I own old number 4 fire station, 2319 Lincoln Way East. I'm excited about this project, and I'm hoping that the entire commission is excited about the rebirth of this entire city lot. So as an agent for Beacon Health Systems, we bring to you tonight the new sign package, and it's an impressive sign package. It's well designed, it's well thought out. It provides for wayfinding, it provides for identity, and it's consistent with other properties, as you may be familiar, with the Capitol Avenue corridor property just north of town. But I would be happy to answer any questions that you have about the sign package itself. If you have any technical questions about the individual materials, the colors, I'd be happy to field those questions as well.
Can you give me a brief summary of the size limitations and also the signage quantities, which we're actually voting on as a waiver? Just kind of run through those pieces.
Certainly.
Oh, and we need your name and address so Donna can take that down, please.
Douglas Merritt, 2319 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, 46544. Thank you, Donna. So the north elevation has 4 signs: the Beacon Star, Imaging Physical Therapy, and the Denny Schwartz Outpatient Center. I'm just reading verbatim from the staff report, so if there's any deviation, bring it to my attention, but other than that,
No,
it's found in your staff report.
We'll just talk about it for the record.
Certainly. The 3-channel letter sets are stacked on one wall. The Beacon Star is separated by a bay of windows. None of the individual letters are larger than 18 inches in height. The east elevation, 4 signs, 2 Beacon logos, the Beacon Star and the Denny Schwartz Outpatient Center. The south elevation has 2 Beacon logo signs. The Beacon logos are on separate pillars but can be seen from different elevations. The 1- to 2-story building is approximately 140 feet by 100 feet, which provides enough room for multiple signs without looking cluttered. Go ahead, Mr. Evans.
Yes, please. Could you identify the first picture on the left? Is that on Lincoln Way, facing Lincoln Way?
That is correct.
Okay. And the one on the right?
Across the street from the library.
Correct.
Pardon?
Correct. One of the commissioners.
Across the street from the library.
Across the street from the library.
Okay. Okay. And then the one on the bottom, lower, on the
Yes.
left?
So that location is actually internal to the property. So it would be on the reverse
Down the
side.
hill.
Down the hill.
Okay.
Parking lot area.
Okay. And then the one on the right?
And the one on the right, again, it
lower.
would be approaching, coming up
coming up the hill.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Will the signs be lit?
Yes. Yes, the intent is to offer a softened lighting perspective for the intersection, and it's not glaring in any way, shape, or form. It's diffused by an actual channel letter face, and that face is very similar and comparable to the same signs that we built as U.S. sign crafters for the city of Mishawaka City Hall.
It's impressive looking
Yes.
Thank you.
for our downtown.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just for an information item, do you have an idea when the completion date of this facility?
I do not have that at this time. I do appreciate the question. What I can do is I can follow up, Mr. Emmons. I'd be happy to send you a personal email.
I would appreciate that.
You're very
Thank
welcome. I'll be happy to.
Are you looking to check in, Woody?
The check-in.
This is Maureen Mitchell on the call. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can speak to the estimated construction complete date if needed.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you leave your name and address again for Donna to take that into the records? And then we'd love to hear more from you.
Yes, this is Maureen Mitchell. My address is 58644 St. Mary's Lane in Goshen, Indiana, 46928. And again, this is estimated construction completion date, but we are aiming for construction to be completed by February 26th.
Thank you.
Great. Is there any other questions? No? Okay, thank you all for the presentation. Very good. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Design Review 25-05? Hearing none, is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak in opposition to Design Review 25-05? Is there any additional information, Mr. City Planner?
No additional information.
And I'll close the public hearing, and if there's no further discussion on this, I'll take a motion on Design
Just a
Review.
quick comment. is
Yep.
I'm thrilled to see this investment in downtown, having 2 items on tonight's agenda with investment in our downtown area. I think it's just absolutely wonderful.
Amen.
Nice comment, I agree.
Good comment. Thanks for that.
Of course.
With that, I'll take a motion on 25-05.
I motion to approve 25-05.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Second was Woody. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Jamrose?
Yes.
Drew Cash?
Yes.
Woody Emmons?
Yes.
Sam Cressy?
Yes.
Drew Johnson?
Yes.
Randy Frost?
Yes.
Kathy White Gaddage?
Yes.
Mike Portalese?
Yes.
Chris Torty?
Yes, and 25-05 passes. Thank you. Exciting. Exciting times for downtown and your project. Is there any old business, Mr. City Planner?
None.
Any new business?
None.
Privilege of the floor? With that, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Whoop, hi, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Torty. Douglas Merritt, 2319 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, 46544. As a commissioner with the City of Mishawaka Historic Preservation Commission, I want to thank you, as a Plan Commission, each and every member here this evening. What you have done tonight by creating an atmosphere of trust with petitioners, specifically for Dojo Creative, I very much appreciate that. I will be the sign contractor on that particular project, so I am speaking in favor of that, but I use the privilege of the floor to have my opportunity. But I do want to say thank you, because as a commissioner with the Historic Preservation Commission, we do countless hours of work. We put a lot of time and effort in to making sure that the downtown, the core of Mishawaka, is preserved. And whether we see artwork or we see new materials come forward, it's not a demolition. And we appreciate that. So we value your time, and we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you.
Wow, that was very nice. We hardly ever get compliments. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you very much. Those are very thoughtful comments, and they're well received. We really appreciate it. So with that, I'm looking for a motion for adjournment. So moved.